We don't want people going bankrupt because they had to go into the medical care system. We want to impact people's lives. We want to make healthcare simpler. We want to give it peace of mind. There's a value system that we have, which is to help people. In the end, we're there to help people. That's what HealthLock does. That's the heart of who we are. The secret weapon for your medical bills is finally unleashed. This is new, this is revolutionary, and this is absolutely a game changer for everyone. HealthLock's a service that stands behind you so that when you go to the doctor, hospital, pharmacy, you've got a service that automatically is verifying the transaction's price against your insurance to save you money and make sure that your insurance is working for you. So you've got an advocate on your side that's automatic, it's a technology, it's proactive, it's not something that you have to engage in with us. We tell you, good to pay, or flag, there's something wrong, and we save you money. A lot of folks ask, what's the problem here, and why aren't the carriers and the providers helping me? And actually, it's the carriers and providers that are causing the problem. So most people think, well, my carrier is my insurance, they're protecting me from these overcharges and fraud, and then of course I can trust my doctor. Well, what happens is that one, it's complex, and so a lot of the things that we do is just what we call cleaning the pipes. There's data missing, there's some kind of wrong code, there's something that is an x-ray that's not there, and so we work with the carrier and the provider to clean that out to make sure that that claim gets paid correctly. There's also the issue of a denied claim. That's actually the carrier that's denying the coverage of that service. And so if you're appealing, you're actually appealing to the person, the carrier in this case, that denied your claim. That's a very difficult dynamic, right? You're trying to convince the folks that said no to you to overturn something. On the provider side, they use a third-party billing company. That third-party billing company is paid by the percentage of dollars they collect. They're a collections agency. And so they also will turn a blind eye and maybe even do something nefarious like a balance bill because they're trying to maximize their collections. So you've got these players in this market between the carrier and the provider, the collections companies, and the consumer, all having these interesting dynamics as it relates to the actual transaction. All of that leads to potentially errors, mistakes, abuse, and fraud, of which is now $325 billion that the consumer is overpaying. Our database, which is now built on over $1 billion of claims audited, is looking at those transactions automatically on your behalf to ensure that that transaction code-wise is correct. Sometimes resulting in a major fine that you read about in the newspaper, where one of the carriers was fined a few $100 million because they went ahead and unfairly denied claims. Our system begins to see this. Our system begins to see upcoding from certain providers. It sees mistakes and errors because they don't have the sophisticated systems to do the billing correctly. So we're actually getting ahead of this where we're starting to see patterns, and the system is really learning then to be very cautious of certain systems, providers, hospitals, and so forth because they have a higher error rate.
There's 850 million denials in America per year. So if you think about that, we have just over 350 million people in America today, and we have 850 million denials. But less than 1% of people actually challenge those denials.
50% of claims have an error or a problem with them. So that means almost every invoice our consumers get are probably wrong. Our customers are members. So the real issue is how can we help them? That's why we're here. That is our passion, is helping people make sure their bill is number one, correct, and number two, if it's not correct, really adjudicating it or saving them money.
A lot of times they don't even know they have a problem. They don't even know that there's an issue. They just figure, wow, healthcare is just expensive these days. Well, sure, it is, but it doesn't have to be as expensive as it is because it should be right, and it's not always right.
And that's what the insurance carriers depend on, is if they make it more difficult, their route to payment is not easy. And a lot of people just give up and say, okay, I'm done with this, or I don't know, I'm at my wit's end, I'm not gonna get this done. So that's where we come in.
Individuals that are getting EOBs today, a lot of them, they have a threshold. And they say, well, it's less than $100 or it's less than $300, I'm gonna go ahead and pay it. But a lot of times, that bill that they first got may be preemptive to what the actual bill is going to be. There might be other bills that are behind it that they haven't got yet. The way that those things come across, there's a lot of room for error, and we see that a lot.
It takes years of training or experience in the healthcare industry to learn all the nuances and the details and the complexities of what we navigate on a day-to-day basis.
We do bill monitoring, and that's very unique to us. So we don't wait for you to upload a bill. You don't have to do anything manually. We connect to your insurance carrier and we download your EOBs, and it's there within 24 to 72 hours when you went to the doctor.
The goal is that we're bringing simplicity and transparency to those people's lives so that if they do get a bill like this and we've looked at it and we see that, hey, this is a good bill, it's been verified, they can go ahead and pay it. There's a sense of confidence with that. But if we flag it, then that's something that we've seen potentially, that there could be an error, there could be potential fraud in that, we're looking at how all these things kind of came together. And if that bill is flagged, we want you to let us look at it. But you still always have the choice to do that.
And so when someone gets a good to pay, they're actually relieved and they feel good that their insurance was working for them. They're paying the price that they're supposed to pay. And then when it's flagged, they know that if there is something wrong, we're going to uncover it. So one of the things HealthLock is obsessive about is making this as simple as possible. It's for medical, dental, vision, and your RX. So we're a full service for all the things that you do medical, right? We make healthcare easier. We don't want the app or the portal to be something confusing. And so after you enroll, you do what we call syncing with the carrier. And that literally is taking our platform and just through username and password connecting into your carrier. From that point in time, you don't have to do anything else. We then go ahead and monitor your transactions. So if you go to the doctor 6 months from now and you've forgotten about HealthLock, you're gonna automatically get an alert that says, hey, that occurrence, you went to the Dr. Smith on this date, verified, good to pay, you can pay it in confidence. Or that particular occurrence was flagged, and then you open up an investigation. After the investigation's open, we may ask for some information, some additional insight to help us, especially if it's a large claim. But after that, we're the ones making the phone calls. We're the ones getting the medical records. We're the ones that are resubmitting the adjudication of that claim. We're filing the appeal on your behalf. We're doing all that work so you don't have to. It's a very simple process for the user to feel comfortable that they've got someone that's watching their back, looking out for them, and then saving them money.
We also track your deductibles. So as you're in there and you go to the doctor and your bills come through, we're also pulling in your deductible tracking information so you can have it right there next to all your claims.
Currently with HealthLock, we have over 250 carriers that are built out for connections, but the great thing about our program is if we don't have one, all we need is you to volunteer, and within a week, we'll have it set up, and that would be for everyone going forward.
So one of the things I love about HealthLock is that we could actually go backwards to find you lost money. We potentially can flag that and investigate it and recoup lost money for you, which is fantastic. And so again, after you sync, all you need to do is just look out for alerts that say pay the bill or start an investigation. And so that's a simple one-click, one-touch type of approach, and that's how simple we made HealthLock. There's also, because of the increase in fraud, right? There was 181 million breaches last year compared to 2 million prior to COVID. So 24/7, we are monitoring your doctors, providers for HIPAA violations, data breaches, malware attacks, telling you what happened, how many people were affected, and then we're protecting you on the damages that could occur.
With HealthLock Plus, you also get identity theft protection. And we do that with no additional cost with the product. That comes with $1 million worth of identity theft protection services.
And you can register your credit cards, any of your bank accounts, your social security number, any of the things that you want them to track. And then you'll start receiving alerts as they continue to just monitor all sorts of different outlets in the dark web and changes to your credit report and all those things.
When we thought about this, especially against, let's say, traditional identity theft that charges per life, Those just didn't sit right from us from a pricing standpoint. So now we have it's a family-only service. All of your kids are covered. There is no extra charge. You can also put your parents in the app from a control standpoint. So now, if you really are a sandwich generation taking care of myself, my kids, and my parents, I can do that all through the HealthLock app.
Is your time worth $1 a day? Because if your time is worth $1 a day, I promise you that your medical bills are worth more. If you don't have HealthLock, you're losing money and you're losing time.
Since the inception of HealthLock, our members have saved on average between $900 and $3,000 a year, which far exceeds what they're paying for the service each year.
We're so confident that you're going to see right away the value, the monitoring, that we provide a 60-day guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, you can go ahead and have your money back. But we know you're going to be satisfied, as are so many of our other customers.
HealthLock is a fantastic service that most people don't realize they need.
It's all about taking care of people. That's what we do.
We've already saved over $130 million for our customers. We're auditing over $30 million of bills per month. We're an expert at this.
The thing we give back the most is your time. So it's a complex system that takes a lot of people's time to understand it. And so instead, we can step in and help the everyday person not only understand it, but save money as well. And I would add, not just save money, but make sure they're getting what they've already paid for in their insurance.
So HealthLock has a phrase that says, don't go to the doctor without HealthLock. And we mean that. There's so much value and protection and peace of mind that comes with HealthLock. Why would anybody go to the doctor without us? But most importantly, all the savings goes back to you. And so there is no shared savings portion. You pay a monthly fee, that's all you pay, and anything that we save, 100% goes back to you. HealthLock Plus is a fantastic product, and I hope you enjoy it.